Hey guys, what's up? I'm Morgan and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Thank you so much for tuning in and for joining us today. Today's video, you guys, is going to be about how we make and size the bikini bottom pattern that I did on a previous tutorial, which was right here, or I'm going to link it down below as well. So far we have done a bikini top, a triangle bikini top, a triangle bikini bottom, and we have done a one shoulder one piece. So this specifically is a video that is highly requested. I'm sorry it's taken so long to put out, but it is complete now, and this is going to be how to size these two patterns that we started off with. The light is on right now, it'll change in a minute, but this is the front and back piece of the bikini patterns that we made in a previous video. And I'm gonna show you guys how to take these, because we made a standard size large. So I'm gonna show you how to take the large and size it up to an extra large, and how to size it down from large to medium, small, and then extra small as well. So this tutorial, I'm gonna show you everything that you need in a quick second. But overall, the end of the patterns are going to look like this. On this one, I did it easier for you guys to follow along, so you can make a full just open pattern like this and just cut it directly on top of the fabric. However, for this one, we're gonna step it up a notch, and I'm gonna just be showing you guys how to do it automatically on the fold line and only cutting one piece, because these patterns, once you make them, they're a lot easier to hang like this rather than like this. Just, you know, it takes up less space, it looks better, but also you don't need a full open pattern when you can just have something already cut like this, and all you have to do is cut this on the fold of your fabric. So let's get into this tutorial, and yeah, I hope you guys follow along.
Okay, so we're going to start off with both of the patterns. As you can see, you're going to need about 5 pieces of paper for each pattern. So for the front you need 5, and for the back you need 5. I'm only going to be showing you guys on the front side because technically it's the same pattern. For the back, it's just a little larger, and it's the same process. But you're going to need a pen, a pencil, a ruler, the paper obviously like I said, and some scissors. We're gonna take away the back pattern because we're not gonna be using that. You guys can size those on your own, because like I said, you're gonna be following the exact same process for the back as well, and I didn't want to waste your time doing both. So set the pattern, the original pattern aside for right now, and take a pen and on each piece of paper size them from extra small all the way to extra large like I'm showing you right now. So now that you have all of the papers with the size on it, you're going to take your large, and you're also going to take the large piece of paper that you wrote the L on, and you're going to start with this one because the large is the full piece of paper, and it makes it a lot easier to size it down and size it up. So just line up your size large, and you're going to literally just trace this onto the new sheet of paper and make sure it's lined up nice and neat. I use fabric weights to hold it down, and it made it a lot easier. So just use something to hold it down so it doesn't shift. And where all those sharp corners are, especially the one towards the bottom leading into the crotch, you can totally curve those lines so it's a little bit easier to cut out, and it doesn't have to be as sharp. I usually use sharp cuts for beginner tutorials, but you can curve that line and it'll just be a little bit more flattering to cut. But that is the size large, exactly how the first pattern is, no changes or anything, unless you wanted to make the curve line a little bit more curvier, and you're just going to cut that one out. Pretty simple, just cut it on out. Don't throw away that piece of paper that you just cut and set to the side. I'm just showing you here that the large is exactly like the first one that we had, the original pattern, except for it's already cut just on a sheet of paper instead of the fold. So next you're going to take the extra large paper that you wrote the XL on, and you're going to take the large paper that you just cut out, place it underneath, directly underneath, and have the flat lines, you know, lined up together as you can see here. And the extra large is going to push it up just a little bit off of the end. You don't want those matching. So what you're going to do is take your large pattern, set it directly on top of the extra large pattern, how we did the first one. You're going to go to the end of the crotch line and mark it down 1/2 inch. See how I'm showing you? I lifted the paper, how it's one underneath. You're marking the 1/2 inch on the opposite piece of paper, on the bottom piece. So mark 1/2 inch down. And then you're going to mark 1/8 inch over to your right side. You can mark the 1/8 inch on the top paper or the bottom. It doesn't matter. You're going to see why in a second, but you're going to mark it on top. Do not take out this bottom piece of paper. It's very important, okay? Now, I just drew the line over to the edge so it can complete the bottom half of the extra large pattern, and I wrote the 1/2 inch, as you can see. So right now I'm just showing you the basic measurements of what we're going to be doing to make it a little bit easier on yourself. So right here, you'll see me marking a 1/4 inch. This is a 1/4 inch from the rest of the bikini. That edge, as you see, just follow that 1/4 inch down. And what you're going to do is bring that 1/4 inch into the 1/8 inch line that you marked, because you want the bottom to be a little bit closer instead of a little bit further out from that crotch line. The crotch really doesn't expand that much in sizes until you get to about a 1X. So just bring that on into that 1/8 inch line. And you're just going to connect it to that bottom 1/2 inch line. And as you can see, I just illustrated it goes from a 1/4 into an 1/8. And the same thing for the top. I'm going to speed through this process just a little bit as you seen exactly what I did. I'm going to show you exactly what I do to the top as well. So you see me taking the ruler and I'm just completing that 1/4 inch line away from that leg hole area, like this, the open leg. And at the top, what you're doing is from the edge of the large pattern, you're just going to go out a 1/4 inch, just like I showed you here. I'm going to zoom in a second, and you're going to go over to the full 1/2 inch, because you remember on the original pattern we went in a 1/2 inch. So you're just going to be bringing that in. See, I'm getting closer to the paper. So you go out a 1/4 inch from the waistline, and you're going in a 1/2 inch, and then you're just going to curve that line down into the original 1/4 inch line. So it's a 1/4 inch all the way down, and then you go into the 1/8. So just understand that every time you go out on the waistline from a large to extra large, it's going to go a 1/4 inch. And then that indent area that we did, that corner, that's a 1/2 inch. Is just like the standard beginner pattern. You're going to take a piece of tape, which I didn't mention. I apologize. Take a piece of tape. It doesn't matter what color. Just make sure you tape those edges together, you know, where that front piece of paper and the back piece of paper overlapped. You want to tape that together because you don't want to lose that back half, because the paper isn't originally that long. And then just cut out that pattern. After you cut this out, you're going to tape the back as well, because you don't want that to get loose. So just tape that little flap down, and now you have a complete extra large pattern. Once you get the hang of it, it's going to go by pretty quick, because the sizes are literally the same for all of them. They're just forward and in reverse. So make sure you write down the extra large and front on it so you don't get confused with your pieces. So every time you complete it, just make sure you're writing down the size and which side it is, whether it's the front or the back pattern. And as you can see, I overlap the top. That's a 1/4 inch out, 1/2 inch in, and then a 1/4 inch down the leg line into an 1/8 inch, and then 1/2 inch down from the original crotch line, which was on the size large. All right, so here we are. We're going to size it down now, or size it up, however you want to say it. So we're going to go from a size large to a size medium. And I'm going to speed through this just a little bit because it's pretty self-explanatory. So for all these, you're just doing everything in reverse. So from the original large line, you're going to go in a 1/4 inch and mark that line first. After you mark that 1/4 inch line in, what you're going to do is take your ruler and draw the line straight up to the top of the paper, because that part never changes. As you notice, the top of the pattern never changes as far as the height. We're just shrinking it. And then you're going to go in a 1/2 inch instead of out like we did, you know, before. So go in a 1/2 inch. That's the original one I'm showing you, and how the guidelines are still the same. Everything is being graded from the top of the paper, if that helps you out a little bit. So at the bottom of the paper, what we're going to do is, because the large is the full size, you're going to take your ruler and go up a 1/2 inch from the bottom line. Because again, the large is the full size of the paper, okay? So we're going up a 1/2 inch instead of down a 1/2 inch and adding that paper like we did the extra large. What I'm doing here is I marked it in from the original large. I marked it in an 1/8 of an inch. Oh, I can't talk. And then I'm just going to draw that straight line down. So now that is our crotch line. from the large. As you see, you saw how I moved the paper out and in. You want to make sure the bottom of the large is matching into that line that we just drew, because all you're going to do is now follow the guideline, okay? So you're going to match the large up with your new medium markings and bring it all the way down. That's it, easy peasy. Now we have a size medium, and all you need to do is write the medium and write front piece and cut out your medium piece. So now you have the medium, the large, and the extra large. The large goes on top of the extra large, and the medium is going to go on top of the large. And you're going to see exactly how you just did everything in reverse with the medium. So the same measurements, you're just going backwards basically, or inwards, however you decide to identify that. But that's exactly how you're going to size each and every one of these bikini pieces. You're going to go outward or you're going to go inward with the same exact measurements. Nothing changes as far as the measurements. Now I'm going to do the small and extra small off camera just because I just showed you guys how to do this, and you can go back into the video if you just need a little bit more help. But when you size the small, you're going to size it down from a medium, and when you size the extra small, you're going to size it down from a size small, and you're going to have each and every one of your pieces. And I'm going to show you what it looks like once you have them all cut out. So here they are, all cut out. As you can see, it's all lined up, and it's the exact same measurements across the board. And it should look like a fan when it's complete. See, all of them, when you line them up, it should be a 1/4 inch out. They're all still a 1/2 inch at that line, and they all go down a 1/4 inch into an 1/8 inch on each and every one of those patterns, from an extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. And the crotch lines are all a 1/2 inch apart. So those are all of our front pieces, and you're going to do the exact same thing to your back pattern piece. I'm not going to show you guys, like I said, on camera. It's the same process for the back pieces, the exact same way. What I have here is a bootleg pattern notcher. I don't recommend this. I'm just using this because I honestly cannot find my original pattern notcher. So if you can get a pattern notcher, get one. It'll save you a life, new life, and everything else. This one is great. I got it from Michael's. It works for what I'm doing right here. And it just punches a 1-inch hole for the pattern hook, what you see here. And the pattern hook can go in and go straight through there, and you can hang it. Honestly, this is actually a pretty good pattern notcher, no lie. I just prefer the original pattern notcher, so you can get this one if you want.
Okay, so that is the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys really liked it. I hope you guys followed along enough to kind of get the gist of it. The reason why I showed you guys like that is because I wanted to show you how to size up first, and then also how to size down from the sizes just using the standard patterns. Now with this pattern, as I explained during the tutorial, these patterns are super easy to make. This is a standard, just basic triangle bikini bottom. There is a more advanced way to do this where you don't have to do the side notches and things like that, but most of you guys are beginners, so I felt like this is the easiest to do. But like I said, these are really easy to follow, and you can use the same basic pattern drafting and pattern grading with other bikini patterns that you end up making, because it's the same pretty much standard rule of thumb when it comes to your patterns. But depending on what type of bikini you're making, you'll learn really fast how to adjust the measurements to fit different sizes. But overall, this is a standard guideline. But again, as you can see, it's only a 1/4 inch in between bikini sizes, and this is just for size extra small to extra large. Sometimes for my bikini patterns, for the things that I put on my website, when I offer a new style, what I would do most times is after a size large, when I go to extra large, I like to add a little bit more than a 1/4 inch. You can do this if you want. I tend to do this just because this has been proven to work for my brand. But from a large to extra large, all I would do is keep this bottom part a 1/2 inch from large, and I would size this out about a 1/4, and then maybe an 1/8 of an inch, just a little bit more than a 1/4 inch out. And then this also will go out a little bit more than a 1/4, just to give a little bit more give, because I noticed when sizes go from large to extra large, the body type changes just a little and it fits a little bit more comfortably. But overall, you can totally use this. There's been no complaints with the sizing of these right here. And yeah, that's it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.